More trash. That's so much stuff. Okay, before things get too crazy in here, I want to do a little kind of review of what the plan is for the bathroom now that we've got things sort of opened up and things are a little bit more concrete. So let's get into that. All right, now that we got this thing opened up and pretty much everything out of the way, let's talk through the plan for this redesign. So for those who have been around from the beginning, you know that the original plan was to take this wall and move it inward so that we have a smaller shower bay here, put in an enclosed shower, and then over here was going to be a cabinet or some sort of storage, and then open shelving all the way up to the ceiling there to take advantage of the height. However, now that we've got things opened up and knowing that the plumbing is not on this side, but rather the source is on this side of the joist, it almost makes sense to take the water through and up to here. So we're thinking maybe we put the fixtures on this side instead, and then the other wall would just be a blank wall covered in tile. So thinking about that, gotta check and see if this knob and tube is still active. Not really sure what we're gonna do, but that's interesting for sure. And over here we have our sink. That's gonna be a wider, longer sink, not much of a change there, and then we'll put the exact same toilet back with a few cosmetic changes to it there. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. One thing for certain that I'm going to do, though, is I am taking out all this hodgepodge subfloor, and I'm going to put in just new sheathing in here. So I think I measured it out, and it'll be like 2 sheets of plywood to cover both sides of this bay. So I'm going to just have a fresh flat surface so I don't have to deal with self-leveling concrete or anything underneath my underlayment under my tile. So that should make things easier. All in all, though, I'm pretty excited about the progress. We're at a pivotal point here. And it's getting too close to the finishing work now, so it's about to get really exciting with all that. So here we go. I'm a freak.
All right, so an update again on the update that I just made. Unfortunately, an electrician has shattered my dreams. So let's talk about it.
This over here, this knob and tube that is running right here, also runs through the joist that way, and then up here all the way to the ceiling. That powers most of the lights, if not all the lights, on my first floor. So that is not going anywhere, and I don't want to mess with it at all. Therefore, we are back to the plan where the plumbing for the fixtures will come up through the wall and the shower head will come up through a wall over here. And as you can see, I've exposed the subfloor up there. And you can see I cut a little bit more than the bottom part of the drywall. So first let's talk about the drywall. The drywall, my dad and I looked at it, and there was too much glue because he glued the beadboard down there. The previous person that did the renovations glued the beadboard to the drywall underneath, and so when I pulled the beadboard off, it ripped off chunks of the drywall, and then also in other spots it left glue behind, and so it was very tall and raised, and I wasn't sure that it was going to be able to be sanded out or anything like that. So took it up to the joint. There's a tape seam here where you can see, because these essentially that's a 4x8 foot sheet there, and then this is another 4x8 foot sheet up there, so it should be easy to fix, and then that would just be, you know, not even a full 4x8 back there, and then bleed it over here. So I'll have to bring a drywall guy in because I'm not going to tape that.
But the project is definitely moving along. Once I figure out what I'm going to do and get the subfloor down, and we'll reroute a little bit of the plumbing over here for the new shower. Once that's done, it's time to get the waterproofing up, and then we're going to be putting tile up on the wall.
Alright, I'm in the process of getting this new subfloor cut and ready to put down on the floor. So I got to get everything underneath leveled out and taken care of. Done a bunch of measurements. Now I got the cuts I think I need, and the last thing I got to do is get the last bit of the remaining subfloor out that I'm going to
be removing, and then the chunk over here in the far corner is going to stay, just because it's tied into the toilet right now, and I don't feel like adding that to the to-do list. So the subfloor is good. It's the same thickness as the stuff that I bought, so it should be able to marry up nicely, and we should have a nice solid surface for the tile. Let's get it. It's tongue and groove. Shoot, let me see if I can't be more. It's nailed in. What am I gonna do? So much stuff in here. Once again, look at all the garbaggio underneath the floor. Alright, got all that cleaned up for the most part. As you can see by that very full trash bag. And I think we're ready to get the subfloor down again. Looking sharp. I am not an electrician. Great, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm gonna do some electrical. So, I need to first switch this. This is a 20 amp GFCI outlet. I need to switch it with a 15 amp GFCI outlet that I have here because I checked downstairs on my panel and I have a 15 amp circuit or breaker run on this line. And so I want to match the amps on my breaker to the amps on my outlet. And so taking that one out. They must have just made a mistake when they installed that the last time, and I'll fix that mistake here. And then from there, I'll just daisy chain over another outlet. We'll move this one up. We'll add one straight over on the other side there, so that there will be 2 outlets on either side of the vanity. And then lastly, I want to add a third one onto the opposite side of the room there, in the kind of the little crevice or the little, like, I don't know, vestibule area behind the shower back there in the corner. That's going to have an outlet as well. So should be good. Okay. Okay. Where were we? Check and make sure these are all snug. Great. Now let's get a wire nut. Twist these grounds together. Oh, okay, one done. So I got this one wired up now. The white wire coming in is the feed, and the yellow one going out is the one I just rigged up. Comes through the ceiling there, behind the pipe, up through the wall, and then back out and behind to the new outlet box that I just put in the wall there. I used a laser level to make sure that these two outlets were level, and then I just need to rig up the new outlet to that spot over there. Now the moment of truth. Let's see if I wired it correctly. Oh, great success. Let's test this one. Nice. Do both of them work? Nice. Look at us go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first thing I've ever wired completely on my own, brand new. Pretty good, yeah? It works at least. Whew, that took forever. What time was it? Oof, that legitimately took an hour. 1 hour to do that. Alright, once again, I'm back in the bathroom. A new day in the bathroom. Last night I got some good work done on the electrical. Today I'm going to finish up the electrical, and step one is going to be I need to inspect this wire that's in this outlet, and then I need to move it over to the other side of the outlet box so that I have a better positioning for running the new wire to the new outlets. So, looking at this, we have the outlet box there where our feed wire is coming up from there. So we're going to move that to the right side there to feed the original outlet, and then on that outlet we'll split out this new wire and we're going to run it to right there. It's hard to tell from this angle, but I've already started cutting the hole there for our new outlet box. Electrical is a new challenge, so well, hopefully this doesn't take too long. Kind of a tight squeeze over here, but step one to taking the wire and moving it to the other side, I'm going to just take it off of this outlet terminal. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's probably a good connection. Yes, I have destroyed the wall around here, unfortunately. Look at that. Gonna have to get some patch. Okay, I'm gonna pull the wire up from the other side. Okay, I need to rip a board real quick so that I have a place to attach my electrical outlet boxes to inside the wall. So I left them 2x4s down here in the basement. I'm just going to cut them down to 38 inches, just one board 38 inches, and then trim probably like 3/8 of an inch off of one side so that it fits within the cavity of the wall, because the plaster on the backside is thicker than a drywall would be, so it doesn't sit flush, so I need some more give. Moment of truth. Let's see if this fits the way I want it to. So we're going to go up, twist, hopefully. Yes! Just like that. That is perfect. So now that we have that there, we can put these boxes. You know, one will face this way, and then we can put another one right there. Ooh, that's good, that's good. Okay, I changed my mind, as often happens in these projects.
I'm gonna put one against this stud here, and then I'm gonna have it right next to each other. It's enough distance that it'll have plenty of room to split the wire, give a little wire, and then it'll make it easy to go down and just straight across to the other side where I'm gonna put the other outlet on the other side of the wall. Let's see. Due to the thickness there of the plaster and the lath behind my wall, I ended up having to offset this outlet box. This is like 3/4 of an inch here. So this is just going to slip into that cavity so it fits more flush. And then this will go along the back of the existing wall. Okay, perfect. Nice. That's in. There we go. Nice new secure outlet box there. So then we'll go feed these through there. Again. Boom. Bing. And we'll go from here over. That should work. Go. Perfect. Remember, I'm not an electrician. Do not do what I do. That seems secure. I'm liking that a lot. So I ended up fixing my terminal points there. I'm actually pretty happy with the way that those turned out. Nice and tight, lots of copper on the screw, pulled tight there. Lines are good. Grounds are twisted together back here, and the wire nut, not bad. We got one more outlet to do, and then we're done wiring. But again, I ain't no electrician. Don't do what I do or do what I say. Don't do anything I do. This is for entertainment purposes only. I have one more outlet to do. I need to finish cutting out the hole here so that I can fit the box through the wall. One big day for electrical. Over there, we have our original outlet, and then now we have the new double outlet right there. Let's go take a look. And now you can see from behind, we have our outlet boxes, our wire, and then I also did a little bit of extra defense. So that's the outlet in the other room that feeds this new outlet here in the bathroom that then feeds the new outlet in the bedroom. So these little things here are just little metal plates that you put over your studs where you drill your wire, so that if you are trying to target a stud when you're hanging something, you don't accidentally puncture your wire. Whew, moving right along today, that's for sure. Huge steps forward with the electrical done. Tomorrow I'm hopefully gonna get the plumbing done, and then I got a little bit of work done on the subfloor as well, so things are rocking and rolling. Only took 8 hours today.